Hey guys, how's it going? Kripparrian here. Today I want to make a video where I talk about how to get started with Hearthstone as a new player. And understandably, Hearthstone's a game that's like 5 years old now. It's been out a while, but still, not everyone has tried it, and it is a game that can be basically the change in someone's life that they need. It can be a very fun game. It's the game that I've enjoyed for the whole 5 years that it's been out, and it has a pretty interesting approach where you will get very good at the game fairly quickly. To play at 100% efficiency is very difficult, and the best players in the game are up in that 99 area. Most of the streamers you'll see are in the 95 plus, but you're gonna get to like 70 or 80 pretty quick, especially if you're out there looking at video guides, looking at the big websites. You're gonna inform yourself. The information is there. You can learn the game despite it being as old as it is. Now, the first thing I always tell people when they want to, see if they actually would like to play Hearthstone is to play the games that the play modes, at least, that are free and that actually give a good picture of what the game is about what it features. So I'm gonna show you guys today. When you first sign up Blizzard account, get a Hearthstone account, you can right away play all of the solo content. Now, the solo content, if you watch this video, I don't know, 6 months from now, there's probably going to be a few new additions. A few of these might be gone, in fact. But the big ones that you want to try, and these are full free play modes, okay? You want to try to see if you like the Monster Hunt. The Monster Hunt features a play mode where you pin up against bosses and you construct your deck as it happens. You can start with different classes that are not quite the same normal classes. I don't particularly like Monster Hunt in terms of playing it, on repetition, because there's not quite as much diversity. It's very similar to the original version of this play mode, the Dungeon Run. It came out in Kobolds and Catacombs. And in Kobolds and Catacombs, you do actually play as the 9 different classes. You get some really crazy treasure cards, and this mode has a lot of replayability. I think it's the best designed PvE content we've ever had. There's basically no rewards to completing it, but it is a lot of fun. And if you start up a Hearthstone account, if you want to see if you are going to like Hearthstone, play this, okay? If you don't like playing this, honestly, Hearthstone's probably not the game for you. But if you like playing the Kobolds and Catacombs Dungeon Run, you're gonna have a lot of fun playing the Monster Hunt. It's very similar, just the replayability in Monster Hunt is not quite as good. You're gonna familiarize yourself with the game by doing the puzzle labs. Now, as a new player, you're clearly going to get stuck on some of these puzzles. Even notable streamers who are very good at Hearthstone, who are very knowledgeable in different mechanics, they get stuck on these puzzles for hours at a time when it first came out. This mode doesn't have much replayability, but it is a very good tool to actually learn the game. As a new player, since you are going to get stuck, I don't think it's that bad if you look up a guide on how to solve one of these puzzles. But if you find yourself looking at guide after guide after guide, puzzle after puzzle, it's probably a stage where you just want to leave it alone, go to another different part of Hearthstone, and just play that, okay? Now, I actually made a brand new account the other night just to see what the new player experience is like in terms of collection acquisition. There's a few different game modes in Hearthstone, and there's a few goals that you want to set yourself up for. So one of the first things you want to do is you actually want to try to find some friends. Try to add people on your friends list. There are some quests that will enable you to get a lot of extra gold just by having some friends. You're going to want to enable Arena. Arena is enabled. It is my game mode of choice. It's enabled once you have every class at level 10. The first few arenas that you're going to do, you should expect to get absolutely annihilated. And I think even though you will learn Hearthstone to a reasonable, skill level very quickly, Arena and the top end of Constructed will elude you for a while. So manage your expectations. If you play Arena, you might win a few games if you're playing well, if you're drafting well, but you're gonna get clobbered once you get north of like 3 or 4 wins. So just please keep that in mind. It's still worth to do arena. Your first arena is free. Your first 3 arenas, you have like a 1-loss handicap, so you actually are going to get some wins in. If you are at the point where you can average 4, maybe 5 wins, it's a good idea to do at least like 1 arena every day or so. It's a good idea to spend your gold playing arena rather than it is buying packs if you can hit like 4 or 5 wins on average. So it's important to keep track of that. Tavern Brawl resets every week. It ends before it starts up again, so you want to make sure you do your weekly Tavern Brawl. Tavern Brawl is unlocked on a new account when you hit level 20 with one of the classes, so make sure you're doing that. I'll talk about that in a second. But that's one of your first goals. The Tavern Brawl rewards you with a pack every week, so you want to get this pack. It's literally a freebie, and most Tavern Brawls are really fun. So if you're having fun in Tavern Brawl, just keep playing it. You can have a lot more fun. Tavern Brawl is generally more fun on the very first few days that it's released, and for at least the US servers, it's Wednesday, because later in the week people know what's best, and that's the only thing that they play. But early on, people have no idea what's going on, and it's quite a treat, especially in the well-designed Tavern Brawls, to play them. So make sure you do, even if it's crap, get a win in and get your pack. Now, there's a lot of different packs, and this is something that I quickly realized when I was playing my new account. So the packs that are currently in standard are visible here in the shop. Right now we have Journey to Orgoro, Knights of the Frozen Throne, Kobolds and Catacombs, Witchwood Classic, and the latest expansion, the Boomsday Project. So unless you really know you're going to play this game, you don't really need to spend that much or really any money. If you really want to spend some money, go buy a starter pack or something. That's very good value. But I think if you just want to play constructed fairly lightly, if you just want like 1 competitive deck at any given time, you can probably do that without paying much or possibly anything if you are playing enough. So there's a few tips that I learned playing a new account. There is a pity timer in Hearthstone. What this means is every so number of packs, if you've gotten unlucky enough, you're basically guaranteed a legendary. And in the first and this pity timer is not shared between the pack types. So if you're buying Boomsday Project packs and you're not getting a legendary, if you then switch to classic packs, it's going to have a different pity timers. Okay, so the pity timer in general is every 40 packs. So it's impossible to open 40 packs. You don't have to do it in one session. If you opened 20 packs a year ago from classic and you open 20 packs today, so 40 packs, impossible to not get a legendary in 40 consecutive packs of one type of pack. Okay, it's impossible. So you always get a legendary, and the odds kind of ramp up pretty quickly near the end. On average, you're going to see a legendary 1 in 20 packs, however, but yeah, sometimes you get unlucky, and Blizzard tries to make it so the unluckiness is curved out a little bit with this pity timer. What's important to know is one of the mechanics that Blizzard introduced not too long ago is within the first 10 packs of any set, you're going to get a legendary. So the pity timer for the first 10 of any set is 10. That is very low. Okay, so the most you need to spend for any one pack type is 1,000 gold, and you're going to get a legendary from that set. So that's basically what you want to keep in mind. Based on the different promotions, based on like, if you got some packs from different offers, sometimes there's like a vote for your champion and you get like 4 packs. You want to look into what's available right now when you start playing Hearthstone, that is. But what you're trying to do is your first goal on new account is you're trying to hit the pity timer on each of the packs, and you want to see how many free packs you can acquire before you start buying them. And I can give you guys a good example of how that works. So if you start up a new account and you do all the starter quests, one of the quests that remain is one that requires you to do 10 victories for each of the different classes in Monster Hunt. So you're going to see your quest log, and it's like defeat 10 Monster Hunt bosses with the tracker. Obviously, it's not going to be in a row. You can just do like 2-3 wins at a time. Just play it out, make it your first playthrough even, and you're rewarded with a Witchwood pack. So you can open that Witchwood pack. Did you get a legendary? No. Then do the next one. Cannoneer, did you get a legendary? No, you didn't? Okay. Well, you can do Houndmaster. Did you get a legendary? No. Then you can do the Time Tinker quest. Get 10 wins of the Time Tinker. And did you get a pack in that one? Well, if you didn't still, then you've capped the free Witchwood packs and you still haven't hit your pity timer within the first 10. So then you should buy Witchwood packs for gold until you get your first legendary with Witchwood packs. The idea behind doing this is that you fast forward your dust collection very quickly. Most cards in Hearthstone are not useful for competitive play. You can have a lot of fun, but honestly, you can have a lot of fun for free in Dungeon Run. You can have a lot of fun on most weeks for free in Tavern Brawl. You can have a lot of fun in Arena, and if you're even reasonably good at it, it's not going to cost you more than it would to buy a pack. So having fun while playing absolute trash decks, leave it to the streamers, okay? Cards that are not powerful, cards that are not in meta decks in Hearthstone, they're really not that valuable, and that's how you need to see them if you're going to be playing a free-to-play or low budget on your Hearthstone account. So that's why you want to hit up those first legendary and 10 packs. You want to do it for every single pack type. There's also some solo adventure promotions, so obviously this can change, but the Frozen Throne adventure, just doing the prologue, obviously I've done it already, but just doing the prologue gives you one of the Death Knight cards, and if you get anything but Warrior, that's probably a card you want to keep. That might be a class that you want to try to work around and get your ladder games in. And speaking of which, they actually have a whole bunch of new ranks in ladder, so if you're an experienced player, if your Hearthstone account predates the patch that introduced the new ranks, you're never going to hit those ranks. But if you're making a new Hearthstone account from when you see this video, at the very least, you're going to be at rank 50. Okay, the only people that can be at rank 50 is basically accounts made fairly recently that have chosen not to fast forward. If you're playing from rank 50 and on, and you're actually ranking up, you don't lose stars for losses. You just got to play. You're going to learn the game through playing. And you're going to acquire some classic packs. I think people said you get about 20 classic packs throughout that play session. So basically, if you plan on doing that, and you probably should plan on doing that, don't worry about the first 10 pity timer for your classic packs. Just make sure you hit your first legendary of the Boomsday, then you can stop buying Boomsday packs for a while. Hit your first legendary for the Witchwood, then you can stop buying those packs for a while. Hit your first legendary for Kobolds and Catacombs, for Frozen Throne, for Journey to Ungoro. And you might see this video a year from now, and there might be 2 different new packs, and you might not see Ungoro, Frozen Throne, or Kobolds and Catacombs. That's just how it might work, and that's fine. You just want to hit up the first pity timer, the legendary, which is guaranteed in your first 10 packs at the very most. Okay, so that's pretty important. There's a lot of quests out there. They're kind of like hidden in Hearthstone. They're not very well communicated, but it can help. For instance, if you defeat all the classes on Expert, so all 9 classes on Expert, trust me, Expert is very loose terminology for the Expert practice mode. There's nothing Expert about it. You might lose 1 or 2, but don't worry about it. You'll be able to beat them all with basically anything. Once you do that, you get yourself 100 gold. Once you get a certain number of wins, you get like 100 gold. I think once you get 300 wins, you get 300 gold. The first time you disenchant a card, you get like, I think, 95 dust, so it lets you craft any rare that you want. In terms of crafting and stuff, I think if you play a few hours a day for 4 days to 7 days based on your legendary luck, you can probably get most of, if not one of the cheap but potent meta decks. If you really want to get started with Hearthstone right away from this video for whatever reason, you're probably looking at Heal Zoo Warlock or Odd Rogue. But if one of your legendaries that you pulled from your packs actually lines up with a different, slightly more expensive deck, just because you won't have to craft that card might make it a cheaper option. So it's not an absolute direction that you should follow, but it is a pretty good guideline. In the meantime, you want to look out for just cards that are really good that you open from your packs that you see your opponents are playing against you. But the cards you start out with are really not too bad. So if we just look at the basic cards, I was mostly playing basic hunter last night. If you're playing basic hunter, you want to just make a deck that kills your opponent very quickly. So Kill Command lets you do that. Hound Master is very good for buffing your beasts. Animal Companion is just a very good beast. Even Timberwolf is a good card. Don't worry about board control, just go face. Just get those games in. In terms of the base cards, some of the neutrals are very underrated. Elven Archer will often just crush an aggressive opener, and it's, you know, hilarious to do that. In Hunter, I'd even play Stone Tusk Boar. Acidic Swamp Ooze is played in meta decks. There's a lot of cards here that are better than they look. Now, the missing pieces are very important, and you'll get those in time. River Crocolisk is a staple in the base Hunter deck. Trust me, cards decently statted. You can win a lot more games than you think. So be optimistic when you're playing, and honestly, if you're playing against someone and it looks like they have a fully built meta deck, you don't lose stars when you lose, and if you're, you know, going up until rank 20. So it's fine. If you think you'll not have a good experience playing against someone who's basically cheating the ladder system, then just don't play them. Just leave and you play someone else. Most of the people that I played when I made a new account were actual, not necessarily new players, but new account players. So they're not going to have that much better cards than you do most of the time. Like Reckless Rocketeer is actually a great finisher. Stormwind Champion is incredible if you choose to play more board-centric mid-range deck. Like if you want to play Paladin, that card is insane. Frostwolf Warlord is insane if you're playing Paladin or Shaman. There's a lot of good options. Sen'jin Shieldmaster is still surprisingly relevant. The 3 damage breakpoint is very good. Taunts are always good. Shattered Sun is very good. And just a lot of the random cards you're going to pick up, you're going to be able to get a decent deck moving into a stage where you can win against most people if you like the ladder experience. And at the end of the day, Hearthstone is a game for people who like very different things. Personally, I like playing Arena just all the time. When there's a new expansion, I like exploring to see what the new cards are. I think it's more effective to learn the new cards through a new expansion, because when you have a new expansion, a lot of the cards are higher rarity. You're not able to encounter them in Arena on a consistent basis. So, you know, that part kind of is what it is, but you learn from Constructed, you learn what you like about Hearthstone, and that's what you should just keep doing. Hearthstone's a game that's just very fun, so you find what you like about it, you play it, and hopefully you enjoy it for as long as I have. Hopefully I've given you guys a decent direction, and you know, if you want to get your friends involved in Hearthstone, I haven't seen a video quite like this one, so maybe you should share. Helps me out too. In any case, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.